As the year winds down, I always find myself in reflection mode, looking back at the goals I set, what went well, what didn't, and what I learned along the way. And let me tell you, goal setting is one of my favorite things to do. I love the dreaming, the planning, and the mapping out of what's next. But if I've learned anything over the years, it's that how you set your goals and how you track your progress towards those goals matters just as much as the goals themselves. So today, I want to help you assess where you are right now. Whether you crushed your 2025 goals or appear to be falling short, this episode will help you reflect without the guilt and set yourself up for even more success in 2026. In this episode, I am sharing 6 ways to assess your current goal progress and set better, more effective goals for the new year. So, number 1, be honest about what actually happened as you work toward your goals. So, before you even dive into thinking about your next year's goals, I want you to take inventory of where you stand right now. What goals did you achieve this year? Which goals are still in progress, or which goals didn't even happen at all? And remember, this is not about beating yourself up. It is purely for awareness. I used to skip this step completely and just focus on the next set of goals. And I missed so many opportunities to learn valuable information that would have helped me reach future goals. So now I make it a point to actually reflect and assess what worked and what didn't as I think about my goals for the year. So to complete this activity or this exercise, I want you to pull out your journal, pull out your planner, pull out your notebook, or even the notes app in your phone, and write down your goals, the goals and intentions you set for the start of the year. And then next to each of those goals, we're going to write a short reflection. So write down your goals that you set for the year, and then ask yourself and write down, did I reach this goal? If not, what got in the way? And then was this goal still important to me halfway through the year? That's a big one. Sometimes we outgrow our goals, and that's okay. The key is to understand why things played out the way they did so you can set goals that truly align with your life right now. Now, as you take the time to think about what actually happened as it relates to your goals, I want you to be purely fact-based, right? Let's not put emotions or opinions in this. Let's not beat ourselves up for what we did or didn't do right. I think this is purely about obtaining information. If you reached your goals, great. If you didn't reach your goals, why not? And more importantly, did these goals even matter to you as you got closer to the end of the year? I think that's an important piece here. We change, we grow, we're humans. A lot of things can happen within a year. So if you find that your goals didn't grow with you, it's okay to let them go and move on to something else, something better, something new. Okay, number 2, celebrate progress, not just completion. You may not have hit every target, hit every goal, but that does not mean you failed. Did you make consistent effort? Celebrate that. Did you get further than last year? Celebrate that. Did you learn something about yourself in the process? Celebrate that. Progress in and of itself is a win. If you saved half of your original savings goal, that's still a huge improvement from saving nothing. If you stuck with a new habit for 6 months, that is growth worth recognizing. We often skip the celebration part, myself included in this, especially if we didn't reach the goal, right? It's so easy to focus on what didn't go the way we wanted and fail to recognize what actually did go well, especially again when we didn't reach the goal. So the point here is not to focus so much on hitting the goal or not, it's to focus on the progress that was made as you work towards the goal. Whether you hit the goal or not, acknowledging your wins really reinforces the behavior that got you to where you are today. And I think that will help you keep doing what works, right? We want to do more of what works and let go of what didn't work. And speaking of that, that moves us nicely into number 3, which is identify what worked as you work towards your goals and identify what didn't work as you work towards your goals. So I want you to look back at the systems, the routines, the habits, the tasks, the actions that you took that helped you get closer towards your goals or that you thought would help you get closer towards your goals. Maybe you invested in a custom City Girl savings budget plan at the start of the year, or maybe you reviewed your budget weekly or checked in with an accountability partner. Maybe you made sure to keep personal finance content top of your feed or podcast list. So, whatever you did to work toward your goals, I want you to identify those things and ask yourself, what strategies made it easier for me to stay on task? What patterns consistently derailed my progress? So maybe if your goal was to learn more about personal finance and you had tasks of following financial influencers, but you always skip through their posts, that's something to recognize and something that maybe we want to change moving forward. I think once you identify the patterns, whether they're good or bad, helpful or not, you can intentionally keep what worked and then adjust what didn't. That is how you set yourself up for smarter, more achievable goals in the new year. Number 4 is revisit your why. So sometimes we set goals because they sound good, not because they truly matter to us. Those milestone goals that we see people hitting on social media, like buying a new house or getting a new car or taking a 2-week vacation. The goals that make you think you should be doing more, but you don't really even care about them. It's pure vanity, it's comparison. Before rolling any of your 2025 goals into 2026 or even setting new goals for 2026, I want you to take a beat and ask yourself, why did I want this goal in the first place? What does this goal really mean to me? Is this goal still meaningful to me? And does this goal align with the lifestyle I'm trying to create? I know I mentioned earlier that we can outgrow our goals, and this is where you really take a moment to reflect and revisit on what's most important to you. What are you looking to achieve and obtain, and why do you want that life that you're working towards? Take some time to really think about that, and then make sure your goals are in alignment with that. Your why, so your driving force, is what keeps you motivated when things get hard. It is the way to get through the day-to-day grind of working towards your goals. And it's not always fun. Like, we don't always want to have to be on and working hard and doing this and doing that. But when you have that why, when you have that driving factor, you do it anyway. You do the work anyway because it's worth it. So if your reason doesn't light you up anymore, it may be time to just let go of that goal and replace it with something that excites you and serves you again. Okay, number 5, make your next goals specific and measurable. So one of the biggest mistakes I see people make is setting goals that are too vague. So things like save more money or pay off debt or spend less. Instead, we need to be specific. How much do you want to save? By when do you want to save it? Which debt will you pay off first? And what does spend less actually look like? So let me give you some examples. So a specific and measurable goal could be saving $5,000 for travel by September of 2026, or paying off my smallest credit card balance by June, or contributing $100 a month to my retirement account. So the clearer you are with your goals, the easier it is for you to measure progress and the faster you'll notice when you're drifting off track. So this is something that I think I can struggle with myself, but I recognize it. So for example, one of my 2026 goals, personal wise, is to focus on long-term functioning for my body. That is very vague, right? What does that even look like? In my mind, that is, making sure I'm stretching, pushing my heart rate to new limits, things like that. So when I say it's very easy to be vague, and I'm guilty of this, we have to take it a step further. So if you find that you cannot measure the goal that you've set, take some time to actually get specific with it. And finally, number 6, break your goals into small, consistent actions. So break your big annual goals into small, consistent actions. Big goals can feel so overwhelming, especially when you're balancing work, life, family, and everything in between. So instead of focusing on the end result, break it down into smaller milestones. If your goal is to save $5,000, aim for $100 a paycheck or $400 a month. If your goal is to start investing, start with opening the account before worrying about maximizing your contributions. Consistency always beats intensity. So the smaller and more realistic your action steps, the more likely you will be to stick to them. And that consistency is what's going to get you the results that you ultimately want. So as you set your next year's goals, make sure you break those goals down into smaller, consistent actions you can take that will actually help you reach that goal. Now, here's a truth I want to leave you with. Setting goals is easy. Following through on them is what takes awareness, reflection, and the willingness to adjust when life happens. By taking time to look back at what worked and what didn't, you are giving yourself the information you need to grow. You're not just setting new goals, you're setting smarter goals. And as you head into 2026, I want you to remember this. Your worth is not tied to how many goals you accomplish. Okay? Let me say that again. Your worth is not tied to how many goals you accomplish. What matters is that you keep showing up for yourself, you keep learning, and you keep staying committed to building the life you want, one step, one choice, one goal, one day at a time. And before I let you go, I want to give you a quick heads up on 2 things. First, something exciting is coming your way. The annual City Girl Savings 20% off sale is running from January 1st through January 15th, and it is the perfect way to kick off the new year financially strong. You'll be able to get a custom budget plan, the City Girl Savings Personal Finance Portfolio, one-on-one coaching with me, and all of our worksheets and do-it-yourself kits, all at 20% off. It's our biggest sale of the year and only comes once a year. So I'm reminding you now so you can prepare for it. Whether you're looking to organize your finances, to start budgeting with confidence, or finally work with a money coach, aka me, this is the best time to make it happen. I will include a reminder in the show notes and in upcoming emails, but go ahead and mark your calendar now so you don't miss it. And then lastly, the City Girls Savings Podcast will be taking a short break during January, February, and March. So no new episodes will drop during that time, but I will be sharing some of your favorite past episodes to keep you inspired while I work on what's next for the show and the City Girl Savings community. We will be back with brand new episodes starting the first Monday in April, and I cannot wait for you to hear what's coming. So if this episode resonated with you, take a screenshot, share it on Instagram, tag me at City Girl Savings, and let's finish this year strong with clarity, self-compassion, and excitement for everything 2026 has in store.